Uh, you're right. I no longer have the presidential pass. For now. Damn.
Is there a particular one?
Should probably
Should
take
put
off
me-
my armor now.
Barack Obama? We're gonna have problems, man. You need to roll back cafe standards right now. You're the reason my car and motorcycle aren't technically street legal.
No.
I can't do an Obama accent.
Oh, well, you see, Michelle told me I had to pass it, or I wasn't allowed to have milk and cookies before bedtime.
My...
That's why we have Crooked Obama. Crooked Obama.
This is a,
You see, my problem is I can't do a Trump impression, because every time I do it inevitably turns into John F. Kennedy.
$17,000.
My fellow Americans, we have invested heavily in these tariffs. They're gonna keep us from
You're
China.
fucking dead. Take that skin off. Take that skin off.
Now there are two.
Alright.
In the
Yeah,
words of William Howard
I
Taft,
had to whip out my trap card.
in the words of William Howard Taft, it appears my opponent has lost his skin. I am naked and unarmed, because that is how the Sentinel fights. Next, I cover myself in honey and wrestle you.
I have a rotisserie chicken. You can't do shit with me.
Alright, Daveguy. Going.
Not the blicky.
Yippee!
First position of the debate. What is your stance on Mikey's legacy?
Mikey's legacy has been an incredibly important part in the pivotal history of the Republic, and I believe it should be remembered as a cautionary tale against people from his side of the fence.
Well, I wish we shot him before he left. I'm glad he rejoined and we were able to shoot him. That was a good moment. And overall, estate process have gone down, so I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out.
Mikey is what he's always been and what he always will be. And what his legacy will be remembered as. A joke. Comedic relief. Even his lasting legacy. His estate was burned to the ground. The world he played in is no longer the world we play in. All we do is talk about what a terrible president he was, how he's the only one to ever be put in a peach. And we joke about how he was scammed by someone from Bosnia. He is a joke. He will be remembered as a joke. And the only thing that's good about him is the jokes we make about him. Also, he's going to go prematurely bald. I put $20 on that.
I'll hold you to that.
How many hot dogs?
One sitting, personally, because I am a being of utmost and untenable power. About one, really.
About you, Newt, how many hot dogs?
Half hot dog.
Oh. Alright, Hirsc, about you.
Alright, so like, how big of a hot dog are we talking about? Are we talking like a normal one? Are we talking a Chicago jumbo? Like,
It doesn't specify.
alright. We're going to assume a standard 8x1 glizzy. That is what my job receives for Dairy Queen. Oh, no bun, just straight glizzy, I think I could knock back 4. With done, that might reduce to 3.
And we're gonna elect these animals.
Six more questions. We start Alright. Next question. Newt.
Yes, sir.
Handle giving.
So personally, I don't like basing it on player bases. I think that because we have so many dead players, that can be a very flawed system. So I would almost entirely base it on how active the province is and how industrialized it is. I would personally have them come to me, and we decide the land, and then give them about 2 weeks. If they build something on it, they get it. And if they don't get it. I also, if I was elected president, would split my powers with the Secretary of Building. So we would both have to agree on it, just to keep me impartial. And also because I feel like I would be way too liberal when giving out land. I would give out way too much, but so I think having that second person would keep me more balanced. But yeah, I think it would be entirely based on activity and how industrialized the province already is.
Well, see, I understand where my opponent is coming from. I truly do. But the fact of the matter is, if we did a system where we did it based off purely, if you build anything in this area of claim it's yours, we would end up in the exact same situation of the old world, where we have population and build dense centers with vast swaths of nothing in between. There is a reason that when we did the reset, we collectively agreed as a republic to do smaller, more condensed provinces. So the idea of going for land grabs now, especially this early in the new republic's lifespan, just seems rather peculiar to me, I guess I'd say, especially when a lot of provinces haven't built up what they have, no matter how active they are. Now, I am one for. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I am one for preserving the beauty of nature. I always have been. That was a big thing with my original presidency. Was I didn't want to mandate the creation of overworld infrastructure because I was worried that, like the Nether Highway, it would be strictly functional and end up ugly. And I didn't want the beautiful sprawling landscapes of our republic to end up destroyed or marred. Because I know in my own personal Minecraft server from when I was younger, I did that and it really bothered the shit out of me. So there's a balance to be struck. You want to give enough space that people can breathe, but you don't want it to be a ghost town like our last server ended up being. As long as you can demonstrate a decent use case, I'd probably grant it.
Alright, Daveguy.
Personally, I believe it should be based on a mixture of both infrastructure and if you can actually populate the land. It's not a matter of, completely black and white, it's based on players or it's based on infrastructure. I think it should be based on how hard are you really trying to claim this land and do you really deserve it? It should be very easy to tell based on the manner in which they're actually using any of the land that they already have. If it's getting to the point where they could really use an expansion, then they deserve one. But if they're already, as you said, just one ghost town with barely anything else left in the province, they really don't need to expand, do they?
Alright. Daveguy, do a jiggle, fart, and laugh.
My lawyer advised me not to answer that question.
How about you, Hirsc? Jiggle, fart, and laugh.
Having a dump truck badonkadonk runs in my family. I got that genetic 14-wheeler. So you bet your ass it jiggles, claps, shakes, and tears my Wrangler jeans.
How about you?
It jiggles. It does not clap.
Coward.
These monsters.
Newt, are you on the Epstein playlist?
No, I'm not.
I heard the steaks were good. There was wine involved. I was on one of those flights that didn't involve any minors. They just shipped me off to like fucking Timbuktu.
I was the pilot. You ever heard of him? Pilot Dave Rogers. Why do you think I'm named Dave?
Glory to Elrov.
Glory to.
Wait, provinces be required honor.
Oh yes, obviously. There will have to be at least one statue in every single province.
By you,
No, although I will continue to try to insist isn't the right word. Encourage. I will try to encourage the building of national parks through our secretaries of building and resources as we've historically done. As for honoring me, to do that, go out and kill your local twink.
how about you, Sir Newt?
Yeah. I would not want statues in my honor. That just sounds kind of strange and unusual. I would definitely want the secretaries to keep doing their job, and I would want to help the secretaries out a lot, but statues are not what I'm looking for.
Tax.
Will there be new taxes? No. I don't know.
Since the founding of this great republic under Mokele Membe, since my first term as Chief Justice, in the first month of this server, I have had one harsh standpoint. No man, woman, child, or beast in my republic shall ever pay a tax.
Daveguy.
And you see, that's why these communists won't get forward in our world. You see, they don't search for a more economically stable republic. I think that we should establish the first internal revenue service of the republic, and that internal revenue service will also be the highest funded private military organization of the server's history.
Your Honor, please strike his commie gobbledygook from our fucking discourse.
What was that?
Alright, Daveguy. Kobe 2000.
Personally, I think Kobe 2008. Yeah.
Hirsc. 2008.
You know, it was a couple years. Are you saying Kobe or Comey?
Kobe.
Okay, in that case, a couple of those rings definitely belong to Jordan. I don't know if we can give him the title of GOAT for 2008 or any year, really. Rest in piss. Sorry about the plane crash. Helicopter crash. Do the Kobe Bryant.
Newt. Kobe 2008.
No, he only got mountain.
Alright. Newt. Will Mina be criminalized?
If you provide, I think that's, I think in like the military context, that's illegal. So if you want to argue with the Chief Justices, sure. I don't think it's the job of the president to do judicial duties other than appointing.
Hirsc. What drugs?
Well, hey, I wanted the snowman question.
Ed.
I had a really good answer to it, too. That sucks. As for what drugs will be legalized in the public, I'm sorry, I've been awake since 3 in the morning. So we're gonna legalize all of them. First off, major sticking point: the decriminalization of suspicious stew happened under
Hippie.
me. You got to do what you got to do. Shut up, you fucking commie. Let me speak. Happened under me. I think that our citizens should be allowed to do whatever illicit substance they want. If it kills them, it kills them. You know, less they're burden on their leaders. And if you can survive, well, it's because the flame inside of you burned brighter than the fire around you.
About you, Dave. Will any drugs be?
I think I'm gonna make less things legal in the Republic. The toxic drug problem has gotten so much worse since the reign of, I think we all know who. I am not only gonna make suspicious stew crime punishable by execution, I'm also going to make pufferfish consumption a jailable offense.
Dave, may I ask a follow-up question? By execution, do you mean the, that slow turn killed me. By execution, do you mean the old school, execution being a metaphor for being banned from the server, or do you mean actual public execution with a sword?
We mean actual public execution by creative means, whatever we can find.
I respect the hell out of that. Thank you, George Carlin.
I am glad as governor to be one of the first people to legalize stew, mainly because Siren asked me. I'm perfectly happy with it. If you want to drink bottles of, that is your right as a citizen of this republic.
Yeah, what's up? It's so sad. It's really so sad. Steve Jobs died of it. Personally, I believe that he really shouldn't have gone to that SawCon in 2015.
I believe it is a venereal disease akin to hepatitis or the clap, and personally, I want nothing to do with it. You know, I'm really more of an Imagine Dragons kind of guy.
Newt.
Something femboys have.
Based answer.
Alright, Newt. In that case, how many pickles?
7.
What do you heard?
I have a pretty bad case of hemorrhoids, probably 0.
Dave, go.
After the accident, my bionic asshole hasn't allowed any pickles inside. I think that question killed him.
This is why I missed presidential debates, dude.
We fucking killed him.
Let's get back in here. While I'm getting back in, Dave, would you donate $17,000?
I think that the donation of $17,000 to Bosnia is a very good idea. We'll see what we can do in the budgeting to make that possible.
How about you, Hirsc?
Do you know how many car parts and liquor it could buy with that money? Fuck Bosnia.
How about you, Newt?
Personally, I would like them to expand their scamming market. Hopefully, they can get another certain person a second time.
Alright, Newt. You wear wigs.
I already do.
How you heard?
If you refer to fit check, you will know that my long, luscious, perfectly curled locks already fall down past my shoulders. A wig would not only be redundant, it would defame me.
How about you, Dave?
Trick question. Ven Willy Vevigs. The writer of the question will understand that reference.
Dave, is Cranklord?
Judging by the apparent
wig.
evidence, I mean, it stands right in front of you that it's very possible that he did just die in that crash. It's an unfortunate fact that I think we have to come to the acceptance of.
Hirsc, is Cranklord dead?
Cranklord is not dead. He is in fact locked in my basement and gets fed 5 legumes every hour.
Yes.
Alright, Newt is
I don't believe in basement. So I think that's just a grave.
You don't believe in basements? Don't you live in one?
Yes.
I have an existential question.
penis ball?
How many craniums can you
Poo-poo,
throw up
penis.
your ass?
No, poo-poo, pee-pee, penis, and vagina.
Alright, Newt, penis ball?
Yes.
Dave, balls.
Mine are bionic and they accelerate when pressurized.
Oh, dude, mine unscrews.
Alright. Newt, put
To maintain order, and so that we have something fun to engage with.
Alright, Hirsc, simply, what is the purpose?
To ensure the protections of the citizens' rights and to be custodians of the nation. Anything else is not only severe overreach, it is an affront to why this republic was founded.
And Dave,
It is
you,
it is what separates us from the animals. Our organization keeps humans human, and I'm not even going to start on the elves, but it makes us who we are in this republic.
Dave, what would your first act as president?
First of all, my first act would be probably to increase the leisure time for the commander-in-chief of the republic. They work too hard.
Alright, Hirsc,
That is an excellent question. Historically, it's been to just sit back and enjoy a nice sunrise, but this time, it would have to be something to stimulate our lovely republic. If I were to be reelected, my first act would probably be to appoint someone as Chief Justice who hasn't served in the role in a very long time.
alright, Newt, what would your first act?
I would like to my first act. I would like to propose to the Senate to allow the president to replace the chief justices midway through their term.
They already can.
The law says it can only be placed at the very beginning of their term.
No, I'll be down. We've had so many leave
No,
midterm, I've never tried.
I think they have to.
I got you. Well, then that's a misunderstanding. Anyways, I just want more people to be chief justice.
Clearly didn't
more
do his
different
research.
people. I've looked at the Constitution. I just haven't looked at past cases.
Newt, what is your stance on war?
It can be fun. There's a lot of bad apples when it comes to it, and it's taken very seriously when it really shouldn't be. But this republic has had a history of bad warfare, so.
Dave, what is your stance on
My stance on war, it's pretty fucking radical. I think we should have more of it, in a controlled manner, of course, but it should be used more.
What is your stance on
As a member of a self-professed warlike province, and an MVP of the later half of the last war, I personally believe that those who sow the wind shall reap the whirlwind. If you want to fight, be prepared to get your ass kicked. War isn't inherently bad, it's good for our server's activity, it's good for the winner, but both parties are the ones signing up for it, and let's just make sure we understand the terms ahead of time.
Alright, Newt, how do you plan to handle the ongoing...
By putting more mercury in the water.
Dave,
By personally interconnecting the pipes between Mercury and Flint, Michigan.
It's not a contamination. I assure you the king is doing it very personably because he wants to share his drug stash with all of his constituents.
We're gonna remilitarize Makian land. We're gonna make sure that there is at least one garrison stationed there at all times, and we will increase executions.
what will you...
They're legal citizens. They're allowed to do what they want to do. Dalmatia has been... They punch above their weight.
I have a very simple two-step program. We're going to root out everyone who's in the Mafia, and then we're going to wipe them off the face of the earth through sheer militaristic might. And after that, I'm going to turn over stewardship of Tolmekia to Suki Bullet. And possibly, if they wish, rename it to Sukilandia.
Alright. I'm a 6.
No, I wish to expand Hirsc care by taxing mothers.
Alright. Hirsc,
Well, as the person it's named after, I can assure you I would institute no such thing. My plan is to end it. I mean, Hirschcare, all it's done is drive up the prices of honest, decent medical care if you're not under Hirschcare.
Daveguy,
Hirschcare has really started to destroy the Republic's medical system. It's really gotten into the pockets of the taxpayer. We really have to get rid of it, and it's private healthcare all the way.
these last 3 questions, each directed at one.
Yes.
How do you respond?
Frank has dementia. Siren has dementia. Me? I'm just moving different. I'm a dog. I'm biting the fart bubbles in the bath. I'm smoking filtered crack out of a glass pipe. I don't forget. It merely ascends to another plane of existence. And Mr. Coordinator, if I may ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Permission to answer the snowman question from earlier. This has really been bothering me.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to do nothing about the dead snowman because in the last server I owned, they named an iron golem after me and then hung it from a tree. So I'm pretty game for doing whatever you want to mobs that aren't wolves or ocelots.
The other.
Personally, I believe snowmen are an important part of the Republic's society, and they should be protected as lesser citizens. We'll probably give the guy a slap on the wrist.
Newt,
Yes, sir.
recent.
No. My plan is to transmit it to Siren and just leave him with all the consequences.
Alright, Dave. Last.
Oh yeah.
Dave, at a dinner, you were.
I've never been present at a Diddy party since it has come under fire of the recent allegations. I cannot speak for my clones, though, whom have at length been present at many horrible, horrible events, have organized many assassinations, and have been inadvertently responsible for the for 9/11. But in this particular event, I believe more investigation has to be completely canceled. We really don't need to be figuring this out in the midst of the recent Newt incident.
Alright, Hirsc, statement. Good. Newt.
Hold on, my mic was muted. No, the fuck it ain't. I have always believed and will always believe in a weak federal government and a strong provincial government. But that is not to say that the provinces should be allowed to stomp all over their citizens' freedoms. What literal federal governance there is there merely to protect the citizenry. That is what I believe. That is what I will always believe. The people of this republic, their beliefs, their wants, their well-being must always come first. It must come above activity. It must come above development. If nothing else, I want the people in this republic to be protected and I want them to be content.
Alright.
Personally, I completely understand him when it comes to presidential power, but I do think it's very important not to downplay the job that we have as this. In the past, we've seen a lot of the secretaries and a lot of just major people go very inactive, and I think that is a major problem because if the governor's inactive, like to be inactive. So I think as the president, you really got to be online. You gotta help out your secretaries. You gotta go to the Secretary of Resources, see what they need for the resource house. You gotta talk to your Secretary of Building, be like, hey, what are we gonna do this week? What are we gonna build for the provinces? You gotta be online to help the people, be active, and do all the things that you need to do. I have been active on the server for its entire history, pretty much, and I will continue to be active on the server.
Under the Republic's new order, our cherished beliefs will be safeguarded. We will defend our ideals by force of arms. We will give no ground to our enemies, and we will stand together against attacks from with or without. Let the enemies of the Republic take heed. Those who challenge my resolve will be crushed. Glory to.
Alright.
Lord Elrov.
I mean the Republic.